What I really want to do is flick onto Ensemble mode 2. This is where it really comes to life. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this is probably one of the best pedals I've ever heard, I've ever tried, I've ever had. It's the Cloudburst by Strymon, and this isn't a sponsored video. I haven't been sent this pedal. I had this pedal bought for me. It's my birthday this month, and my wife very kindly bought this pedal for me. I expressed an interest in it a little while ago, and lo and behold, it turned up. So thank you so much to my wife for buying it for me. But anyway, I plugged it in the other day. I actually haven't had too much time to try it. I've been so busy lately, but I plugged it in the other day, and I lost hours to it the other day, just kind of messing around and everything like that, and I thought I have to make a video of this pedal. I know videos are already out there and everything like that, but I wanted to make one too. But what is it? What is the Cloudburst by Strymon? It's a reverb pedal. It creates really amazing ambient guitar tones. It has what's called an ensemble mode. In fact, it has two different ensemble modes, which is kind of like a low intensity and a higher intensity version of the same thing. And the ensemble mode basically makes your guitar playing sound like you have an orchestra behind you. It takes what you play, and I don't know how it does it, but it creates this kind of wash of just amazing, amazing sound. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much. I want to just demonstrate the pedal. So for this video, I'm going to be using my Harley Benton Telecaster, and I'm plugged straight into my Ampero Mini, and I have a clean tone just loaded up with a little bit of delay, and this is what that sounds like if I just sort of show you that straight away. That is entirely coming from my Ampero Mini there, just a straightforward clean tone with a little bit of delay. There's no reverb on this tone yet. I mean, if I very quickly can try and show you what that sounds like without the delay, just so you can kind of hear how basic it is. Here's no delay. Very basic tone. Let's put that delay back on. Now, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to flick the ensemble mode off and just show you just the generic reverb on the pedal, and I'm going to sort of explain all these different controls and everything like that. So here's what it sounds like with everything roughly at 12 o'clock. Straight away you can kind of hear the difference. Really, really great sound. So basically, let's explain these controls. So the pre-delay is how long it takes for the reverb to kick in. The tone is the tone of the reverb. How does it sound? Does it sound quite dark and kind of suppressed, or does it sound really bright and lively? This modulation there, it actually has a little bit of what sounds somewhere between a chorus and a delay, slapbacky kind of thing, but that's there as well. You can kind of add that to your tone. Mix is how loud it is in your mix, so how loud it is compared to what you're playing. And the decay is interesting because that is basically how long the reverb lasts for. So let me kind of explain or show you all of those. So everything's at 12 o'clock like I said, but the pre-delay, if I turn it all the way to the left, that means the reverb is instant, versus if I turn it up quite high, the reverb kicks in a lot later. You can hear that sort of have a tail a few moments later. So the tone, if I turn the tone all the way down, it's got quite a, I don't know what word to use to describe it. I want to say dark, but it's not a dark, more muffled. It's just suppressed is the only word that comes to mind, but you probably have a word that you know. This is more sharpness, more brightness to that, which I think is good on the sharper side, but maybe not too much, because you don't want it to sort of fight with what you're playing. Let's listen to the modulation. So that's what, or this is what that sounds like. Can you hear that kind of like wobbly tone? It's like a chorusy, slapbacky kind of thing, which is interesting. I don't know if I like it too much, because the more that you turn that up, it sounds, it makes things sound a little bit out of tune. Mix, obviously the mix at 12 o'clock, you're going to kind of have a nice even blend of the reverb and your guitar tone, but the more you turn it up, you're going to actually hear more reverb, maybe more than your guitar tone. In fact, if I turn it all the way up, 100% mix, I don't think you're going to hear any of my guitar. You're only going to hear the reverb. which is great. So let's put in a bit of guitar again. Nice. I'm going to leave the mix up where it is, but the decay is interesting. Obviously, if you want to sort of turn it off without actually turning the pedal off itself, you know, that doesn't really last very long at all. Or just turn the mix down completely. But if you want to really have an effect, is you can basically, if I turn it all the way up actually, I'm pretty sure it just creates an infinite sound. And that will just go on until I turn it off, which is really great. Sounds weird. If you want to create like a chord or something to play over, if you've got a loop pedal or something like that, or you know, whatever it is, you know, you can literally play something and it will just infinitely repeat, and you can kind of jam over it and stuff like that. I think this sounds amazing already. I'm going to turn the decay up actually quite a bit. But yeah, I think these are settings that I quite like for this. You know, you're getting a good effect, you're getting everything kind of nice but not too much, but obviously it's to taste, isn't it? It's whatever you prefer. Anyway, let's flick on to ensemble mode now and see how that sounds. So let's listen to the difference with just flicking on to ensemble mode 1. A definite difference there on the end of that kind of chord. Messed up. Yeah, so let's kind of play about with that a little bit. I'm going to turn the decay up quite a lot, maybe the mix down a little bit, and maybe kick in a little bit later, just so it's not fighting with what I'm doing as much, because I've turned the decay up. And the tone, I'm actually going to go about half on the tone, so it's kind of not too bright, because it's quite a bright guitar tone to start with. In fact, I want more on the mix. Doesn't that just sound beautiful? I mean, what if I kind of change it up a little bit if you're getting bored of me playing the same chord progression? What if I played like, I mean, everyone knows this. I hope you've seen what I meant earlier when I said I just lost hours to messing around with this and playing different things just to see how things sound, you know. Awesome stuff. What I really want to do is flick onto ensemble mode 2. This is where it really comes to life. So this is the same thing but a lot more intense. How does this sound? Let's turn the pre-delay down a little bit, so let's kick it in a little bit quicker. turn the mix up. Mix up, but tone down again, so that tone's not fighting with us a little bit. Amazing. What does it sound like if we play like a strummy chord progression? Maybe I'll go to a different pickup. Let's try it on neck. Sounds nice on a strum too, you know, with a maybe more of a bassier tone. It might sound too conflicting on the bridge pickup. Let's turn the modulation up a little bit, see if we get more kind of interesting effect. Let's really turn up the decay. So yeah, you can hear that just goes on forever. Very quickly though, you can start to have too much. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want to have a very intense tone with a lot going on, but you can also dial it back to be really gentle too. But I got to try the slow dancing. Oh, it needs to be quicker for that, doesn't it? The pre-delay. Doesn't sound right, does it? Maybe that'd sound nicer with the ensemble mode off. Oh, immediately. Let's get a bit more tone on that. Very quickly, I want to hear what the ensemble mode on the final mode sounds like with the mix turned 100% up and a lot of decay as well. Maybe not all the way up, but quite high. This is where you're not really going to hear the guitar, you're just going to hear the effect. So if you want to create like a really nice and I'll make it happen instantly as soon as I play. I mean, let's just say in your band, you don't have a keyboard player, you don't have a string section. You could have this pedal on your board set to this setting to create like an orchestrated sound. And if you've got other members of your band to play over something, you know, whatever your chord progression is, you know, it could be anything. So there we go, that is the Cloudburst by Strymon. As I said right at the start, I don't think I'm overstating this, but genuinely one of the best guitar pedals I've ever heard in my life. So much fun. The only downside to this pedal is that I don't know where it would fit in my use with what I do when I play the guitar, other than just sitting at home and just playing about with it and having fun with this pedal at home. I mean, I don't play in a band that needs this kind of sound. I mean, it would be great to have this on my pedal board to take it to a gig, but I don't think I would ever use it because the stuff we play, I play weddings, I play functions, and this isn't needed. If it ever is, believe me, this is going straight on my pedal board, but for the time being, it's just going to be a pedal I have at home for jamming and just kind of maybe recording. If I want to create amazing guitar tones to do some recording, as I said, I want to be able to use this. I want to come up with a chord progression and then play over it. You know, maybe that'll be a future video, something kind of messing about with that, or maybe a short, I don't know. Or maybe I'll post something on TikTok. I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, that's the only downside to this, is that, you know, how useful is it with what you do as a guitar player? That aside, so much fun. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video, hope you enjoyed this demonstration, hope you thought it sounded as good as I did. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave me a comment down below. Have you got one of these? If not, are you going to get one now after seeing this video? As I said, not sponsored, wish it was. If you did like this video guys, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do. I make lots of guitar and music related content, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. So take care.